Hello, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss a process to create the table using one constraint. Okay, so before we discuss the program, let me tell you what is constraint. So constraint are some set of rules that we apply on a column or a field of your table. Okay, so db2 enforces the column to satisfy few of the conditions, and through these constraints we can put those conditions over the columns. So let me show you the program now. So what we are doing, firstly we are declaring one constant variable that we are going to use to validate whether the query is executed successfully or not. So I just create this constant sql state underscore valid, and the value is 5 times 0. Below to this we are setting the commitment control using exec command. So exec sql set option commit equals to star none. So if we didn't, like if we are not passing this option as star none, then it will not make the changes to our file, so it is mandatory. Now below to this we are using the constraint. So far we have discussed this process. Like if I remove this, then we have discussed only this process, like how to create the table, right? So for table creation, the syntax is same: exec create or replace table. Table name is emppf. First column is employee id, emp underscore id. Type is integer. Second is emp underscore name. Type is character 30. Now, if you want to apply any constraint to it, what you can do, you can give a space here and just write primary key. So this is my first constraint that we are going to discuss today, primary key. Okay, so why we use this constraint? Because this constraint allow us or enforces db2 to not taking any duplicate value. It means if you have a specified primary key on any column, then it will not accept any duplicate value. If you have inserted data as employee id as 50, then next time if you are inserting the 50 again, then it will give error. It will not allow. So this is the rule, that it will not accept any duplicate value. Second rule is for primary key, that you are not supposed to pass the null value. It means if you are not passing, if you have declared any primary key, then you are supposed to pass any data to it, because if you are not passing any data, then it means you are passing null value, which is not allowed for primary key. So two rules are like, first one is the value should be unique. Second one is that you are not supposed to insert any null value. Okay, so you have to insert some data to this column. Third rule is that, like if you are creating table, then in a table only one primary key you can use for a column. It means if you are using a primary key on employee id, then you are not able to use it for any other column. For each table there is only one primary key. Fourth rule is that if you are using primary key on any column, then you are not able to use the constraint unique. What is unique constraint? That thing we will discuss in next session, but for now you can just understand, like we are not supposed to use both things on a same column, primary key and constraint. Okay, so these are some basic rule for primary key. Now once this query executed, it will create the table with primary key column employee id. Later we are checking for SQL state. If SQL state is underscore valid, then we are printing the message table created but created successfully. And if it is returning value as 01567, then we will give the message table created but not general. Else we will print SQL state and give the message query ended with an error. So these are the steps that we will do in each and every session related to the sqlrpgle table creation. Okay, and then we are setting the star inl equals to star on. So let's compile this program and see the output. It is compiled. Now I'm calling this. So it is giving the message table created but not journal. Now what we will do, we will perform some SQL operation here to understand the rules that we just discussed. So firstly I will go and hit the command select star from Sharmit1 / emppf. So you can see it is blank file. If I take F4 here, it is showing like employee ID is of type integer, length 9, employee name is type character of length 30. Now what we will do, we will insert some data to it. So for inserting the data, we will use this query insert into Sharmit1 / emppf. Column name is emp underscore name, values is Sharmit. So what we will do, we will make it like emp underscore id as well, because this time we want to insert both the values. So I make it like this. Here I will put 20. So what this query will do, it will insert the employee ID as 20 and employee name as Sharmit. So hit enter. It is inserted successfully. We can use select query to see the data, right? Now if I try to insert the same query, means same ID again with this query, if I hit the enter, then what it will do, it will give the message duplicate key value specified. So to check this error, press F1 here. It will give the message a unique index or unique constraint star n in star n exists over one or more column of table in EMPPF in Sharmit 1. The operation cannot be performed because one or more values would have produced a duplicate key in the unique index or constraint. Okay, so it means we are not allowed to insert duplicate value. If I pass it as 30, then it will accept it, but next time if I hit with 30 again, then it will give error. Okay, so this is the one rule of using this primary key. So it will not allow us for inserting any duplicate value. Now we will discuss about the second rule, which was it will not allow us to insert any null value. So if I remove this column and if I directly pass the value in the second column, then also it will give error. Insert, update or merge not allowed by check constraint. Okay, so this error we will get when we are trying to insert the data with null value and in primary key. So our employee ID field is primary key and we are not passing any value to it. It means it will try to insert the null value, which is not allowed. So these are the rules that we are supposed to follow, or that these constraint enforces db2 to follow. First one is not to insert any duplicate value. Second one is it is not allowing us to insert any null value to it. Third rule is like for a single table you can use only single primary key. So if I try to use this primary key keyword on other column, then it will give error at the time of creating table. Okay, so for one table we have only allowed to create one primary key. Fourth rule is primary key constraint and unique constraint both cannot be used for a single column. Okay, in a table you can use it in different column, but not for a single column. So this thing we will discuss in upcoming session, like how we can use unique constraint. But for now you can just understand how we can use the primary key keyword. Okay, so I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.